Hello, my name is Jake Pullum. It is the 1st of February 2019 from Coles College, and this course is ISA 4220. This is a presentation on App Armour, HTTP, HTTPS. And these are all found on the Windows systems and Ubuntu systems. So App Armour, it is run by Mac. It's a mandatory access control system. And what that does, it binds access to the application and not the user. So it runs in the Linux kernel. It's not in the boot, and it's a kernel enhancer. And what it does is it has two separate modes. It has enforcement and complain. The complain mode should only be given to trusted employees, such as like your CEO or CISO. And what that does is it detects an error. If it's violated on the policy, it will detect an error, and it will send the report. The enforcement mode, however, goes ahead and blocks the user. So they have two different functions and two different modes. So you base it off depending on like the trust that you need. About this feature is that it binds access controls to the actual application. It's basically an add-on, and it doesn't bind it to the user. So you attach this to your software. Now for App Armour hardening, the biggest thing is make sure you have App Armour enabled and set the rules and policies that are respective to your server. So when you go through, you want to App Armour, you want to make sure that you put the policies that you need for your servers, so that way if it has something to check to make sure those things aren't being violated while the software is being run. And then with that being said, you got to know your software. So to do the policies and the rules, you have to know how your software operates, and you have to know what restrictions you want to put on it. Another thing is that you also want to make sure that your App Armour is running and secure, but you also want to make sure to have it, because that helps you prevent unauthorized people from being able to delete or modify and change key importance information or data to your software. So it limits the access. And then also you need to make sure it runs properly and all necessary updates are done. This ensures the efficiency of your software and efficiencies that keep it from failing. And then make sure your App Armour works with the application or service you're enabling it to take effect. Because if you have it all running, and then you find out your App Armour, has an error in the rules or in the policy, it could both be preventative from your user using software effectively, and also slow down the time it takes for your company to be able to run efficiently. Okay, so next up is the HTTP, which is the Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It is used by port 80. It functions as a request response protocol. So basically, you send out a request and it responds. An example of an HTTP is a URL such as, it'll look like this: http / goals.kennesaw.edu. That is a perfect example of just a standard HTTP. It runs on your application layer, and it's what you would see basically in most web servers. As far as HTTP hardening goes, you want to use port 80. Do not change it. It is the default port. If you change it, it can lead to problems. Update your browsers and operating systems regularly, including any antivirus. So if you have Ivira or Norton, make sure those are functioning clearly. Otherwise, it opens that vulnerability up for you. And then control user admin access that allow rights to the internet. So it's like parent controls. You want to be able to limit certain sites or anything that you find unsecure. The university does this with our systems, where you report a site that has malicious intent, and they block it on the servers. So that way people don't accidentally come across it. You type something in the wrong in your browser, and you actually find a site that you think is similar to the one you're trying to find, but it ends up being contaminated. And then control who has access to your network. Secure your network with a passcode. With your passcode, you want to have at least 12 digits with mixtures of characters, integers, and capitals and lowercase letters, because that's going to help boost on the chance of you being able to get hacked and people violating your network. And going back to control and user admin access, this is the way you limit who has access to what programs and what tools to make sure you know they have the qualifications necessary to access that. Because you don't want people just accessing your network who don't have the rights to do that, making changes or modifications to your systems. Oops. Okay, so next is the HTTPS, the Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. Now, the only difference is it's more secure. It's more secure than HTTP. It uses port 443 instead of port 80. And this runs on the application layer and the transport layer. So what HTTPS is, it allows a secure connection between the server and client. It has still the same functions as HTTP, it's just more secure. It also works in conjunction with the SSL. The SSL is the secure socket layer, and it works with the TLS, which is the transport layer security. It uses asymmetric PKI public key infrastructure. That is the public key used to encrypt, while the private key is used to decrypt, and that's why it's far more secure. It's more encrypted. And the biggest thing with this too is same thing. Make sure all your software is up to date. You know your software. You know who has access to it, and you're going through the controls to make sure you're not letting people unauthorized get onto your devices or computers. So don't leave your computers open. Make sure you always have passwords both on your computer, on your network, and any other applications that you want to keep that information safe. Thank you for watching my video. Have a great weekend.